Hi all, it's Alex here with another What a Mad Week. It is What a Mad Week number 18. Giving you the second half of the maps that we've done for this month's Deserts theme. We have pretty much wrapped up. There is one missing map, an Oasis map that Stefan has done that he inadvertently forgot to send me the link when I was editing, and he's been out today, so he's not been able to send it to me. However, it will be added to the Foundry pack within the next couple of hours, and it will be uploaded to my Airbridge. Anybody that's not continuing their subscription this month, if you are a Foundry user, then as soon as you do an update to Foundry, you will get the map added. Providing you've already got the password for the current month to access my Airbridge, that won't change for a few days yet. We won't change that till generally round about the 4th of the month. So even though you're only seeing this video now, if your subscription runs out tomorrow and you're no longer a Patreon, you will still be able to access my Airbridge for a couple more days yet anyway, so don't worry about that. You'll still be able to get the map. The last of the maps, we have a desert temple entrance. It's quite a simple map, but quite a nice utility one, because we've done quite a few internal maps, a few desert ones in other themes. This kind of gives you some stuff to lead up to that as well, which I think is pretty cool. We've got just some basic canopy stuff for when you're moving around, just kind of going under these little archways and stuff, just to add a bit of a bit of life and depth to the maps. But other than that, relatively simple. Nothing actually happens over here. These doors are just for show. We've got this in a day and a night variant. I thought I had that up already. Oh, did I just have that up? Am I just being blind? I don't know. It's late. There you go. So we've just got a day and a night variant. We don't generally do variants, but every so often. So then we've got a desert road. Again, another exterior. Choose whether you come from the top of the map or come from the bottom. With this one, we've decided to implement levels just as the base module for this. Just because you've got all these different terrain heights, levels plays really well with that. So let me reset the fog of war on this, because obviously I have had a look around on it. So as it is, players will be able to move around and they can only see this area. However, if they climb up 20 feet, so the terrain levels are in 20 feet increments. Or were they? No, they weren't. They're in 30. There we go. So then when you go up 30 feet, you can then see on this next plane, this next height up, but still there are some that are slightly higher. So then you need to go up another 30 feet. And I have wrote this in the journal entries that it is an increment of 30, 60, 90. And then you've got this last one that would be 90. So if you've got somebody up here, kind of, with a bow and arrow or firing magic from up on high, then your players aren't going to be able to see them until they get high enough. But this person up here will have full vantage of everybody. So again, it plays into that tactical elements with the different heights of the map. Something we're trying to do a little bit more. Sometimes it's easier than others. So yeah, again, another little simple exterior map, quite utility. This next map, not utility, not simple. And this is our desert summoning. So this is our first go at doing a phased map. We generally don't do them. There's a bit of a, it's a bit of a fad at the moment. More people are kind of trying them out. You see them on Reddit. There's a few creators that are specifically focusing on doing phased maps, and they're cool. I think they're only really easy to implement in the likes of Foundry. And we're kind of using Token Attacher to do it. We've done phased elements with some other maps. Anybody that has the classic Dungeons Arcane Sanctum, there's the whole area where you've got the different spell schools of magic in the different rooms, and you can drag the token on there and then it will change the room because it drops basically another tile on there. We also did it with the Temple of Arenel, where when you defeated the encounter in there, the illusion would disappear and you could delete the token and it would change it. So it's these dynamic changing maps. Phased maps are generally the same area where big things are happening, and so we thought we would try and do one of these and use token attacher to do it. There's 4 phases to this. I have done them as individual maps as well, but if you wanted to use the phases, then what's going to happen is every time I drag on one of these phases, and it's up to the DM when they make these phases happen. It could be like every 3 rounds. You know, it could be when certain things happen within the encounter that it triggers it. You know, if the person casting the ritual isn't stopped and they get to say different things, these things are happening. So ours is a desert summoning. We've got these strange desert obelisks, these huge kind of obsidian pyramid structures out in the map, in the middle of the desert. These small little obelisks here, and then this altar, and very innocuous, kind of seemingly nothing major to it. However, and I'll zoom out for this, but you know, the main action is going to be happening around here, and every time I drop one of these new phases on, it's going to bring with it a new image, and it's pretty much the full map, so it is a little bit weighty. Fortunately, we kind of like compress everything down to WebP, but still it's quite a big sized map, and so there's probably going to be some slight loading times with the tile being dropped on. It won't be an instant thing, but what will happen with it'll bring the tile, it'll bring some sounds, it'll bring some more lighting effects, and they kind of stack up on top of each other. So the first phase, you just drag phase 2 onto phase 2. These are hidden, so the players can't see these. These are just for the GM's description, and you can see that there is something that's going to be summoned from beneath the sand. And then as the encounter carries on and we go into phase 3, you've got all the sand shifting, these pylons are starting to light up, this big skeletal being is starting to come through. You can see that the obelisks that were here have started to crumble as all the ground has started to become disturbed. And then our final one is basically your last chance. If the players don't stop this from happening here, then I see some colossal skeletal old deific pharaoh thing coming out of the sand, and then it becomes a whole new campaign that you've just unleashed. So there you go again. Just the extra disturbances, you know, as this is coming out, the sand spreading over the pylons and stuff, and you know, it's bringing with it the electricity sounds and stuff like that. So all the things tier will get all 4 phases. The essentials tier, they'll get this map, and they will get the phase 3. So still cool little map, but yeah, all the things tier, they're kind of exclusive for the month, will be the full phased map. And then last map that we've currently got available is the Desert Bazaar. This is a 2-level bazaar. So in Foundry we've used the levels module again. Players will be able to move around, and we've got these different areas where you can climb up ladders, and it's going to take you on this upper roof area. You can go up and down the stairs, and then you've got your different levels. So this guy's below, and you can kind of see him. When you are the one that is below, you will not obviously be able to see the above canopy, and so you will just kind of like see floating tokens if you have visible range on them. But obviously you've got the marker that everybody can see that, okay, they are not on my level, they are above me. But yeah, so that's, you know, just some nice cool environment stuff that you can kind of play around with, and you've got these little areas here. When they go out of sight because of this like wall blocking, then you won't be able to see them. But otherwise, oh, there you go. That's where it is. Oop. There you go. There's some nice little canopy effects, and then we've got this little blurred canopy up here. But it is just a 2-tier. It is like the main bazaar, and then these the rooftops above them. So there you go. That's kind of rounding off this theme. Apart from this Oasis map that I've not even seen, so I don't even know what it looks like yet. And Stefan's finishing it off. Well, has finished it. Just needs to send me the bloody link, and then I need to put it into Foundry. So that will be out in a couple of hours. But I wanted to get this out to you before the time that before the clocks ticked over, and people weren't necessarily going to get this message if they'd ended their subscription this month. For anybody not ending this subscription this month and it's going to tick over into December, or anybody that is interested and might come back, if they might reconsider it, we will be doing a pick and mix for next month. So it is going to be random maps. We did a pick and mix before. It saw the likes of the Mad Cartographer's Maze. It saw the Purple Worm map. So we're doing random maps. We've already made a couple, and it's just kind of like filling gaps where there's stuff that we've either wanted to make for a theme and never got around to doing it, or we've had ideas and just not had the time or an appropriate theme to put them into. And so it's just going to be a selection of different cool maps that will be able to be placed in different locations and be useful across different campaigns. That's going to be the theme for December. We are also doing the winter bundle, and the winter bundle right now is looking far too big. We have got 30 of Stefan's original maps when he was the Crafty Dice, when he ran his Patreon. We've got 30 of his maps and variations. So the Crafty bundle has, I think, 150 maps. This is very much going to be a VTT bundle. We don't have the print quality on all of them because some of them weren't at 300 ppi, which is the standard print. So they are all 140. They will be available in JPEG, and they will all be put into Foundry. So you're going to have 150 maps in this map pack available for free because we're already doing a theme. We're just kind of giving you some extra stuff. So we're doing the winter bundle, and there's some cool stuff that we're doing in there with levels. There's some cool little mazes in there, and there is some like upper walkway areas for anyone running Shan. If you kind of running a campaign where you're in the kind of the sky cities. I know it's something that people have been asking us for a lot for as long as I've been running this Patreon. It's just something we never really managed to fit in. There's a couple of maps that kind of allow for that. We have a multi-leveled airship that we will be using levels so you can navigate through this airship. So there's some really cool stuff. We've got that. We've got 3 or 4, I can't remember, Foundry Ready Adventures. I think they are all maps that we've already released, but I think the maps have all, or some of them have been changed around and edited and updated for the adventure, but they all come full journals, full in Foundry. No PDFs because they're all done by Luke from the DM there. We have some character tokens that we've made, some token frames that are for Rime of the Frost Maiden. We have some artwork for Rime of the Frost Maiden, so there's some thematic stuff because it is winter. We have some NPCs, I believe. We have something that I'm trying to expand on. I'm not going to say too much about it yet, just in case it ends up falling flat. So there's a lot of cool extra stuff for the winter bundle. And if you're not convinced, then come and check us out in a few days' time. If you are signed up to our newsletter, which as a patron you do automatically get signed up to the newsletter, you can opt out at any time. You'll be informed when the winter bundle is available. It won't be available straight away. We like to give it a few days on Patreon before we start putting the new stuff on. So it should be available by the end of the week. Look out for that stuff, and look out for this extra map as and when we get it out to you guys. So there you go. Hope you like this stuff. We keep trying to do these interesting things with Foundry. Anybody that's not tried out Foundry, if you missed out on the Black Friday sale, then more for you. That is a shame. You really need to get Foundry as your VTT of choice. It just allows you to do so many amazing things with it once you take the time to kind of like learn some of the basics. We can't recommend it enough. Love Foundry. However, if you're not a Foundry user, all the maps are still available. They're all available as JPEGs that you can use in Roll20, Astral, Shard, whatever it is that you use. And all our maps are compatible with all VTTs. But with Foundry, we're able to do these kind of extra cool little things. So anyway, there you go, folks. Hope you're looking forward to it. Even if you're not typically in a desert campaign, hopefully some of you will feel the urge to try and force your players to a desert area, or just send them on some magical, mystical ride through a portal just to throw them into a desert for a while and unleash some of our maps on them. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And other than that, as ever, keep rolling those 20s, folks.